all in.
Jesus.
So no fold and a snap call from Nick. So just as we were singing JD's praises, up 45,000, we have a $150,000 pot, perhaps our largest
The
ever
largest ever at the
on
Lodge.
the Lodge Live. I think it's wise.
You'll love it.
All right. 3,500 likes on or before 6:30 will give you double overtime. That's going to be a tall order, though.
It could happen.
Definitely already qualified for overtime.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Nick with the Cowboys.
Dylan DeStefano, young Vegas rider. So I go to Vegas last spring, and it was March 31st or whatever. It's after midnight. It's April 1st. And I get moved from a feeder to a main game of either 1020 or 2040 at Bellagio. And they say, hey guys, slow rolls are on for April Fools up to like 4K. And I say, no, it should be on for the full amount, like Max Payne. But we get into a big pot.
Are you serious right now?
You gave my sheet away.
That's the sheet that you just wrote on.
I know.
Oh my God.
I didn't expect you to give it away.
Ace King versus Kings here.
He 3-bets the button.
Unbelievable stuff happening, not only in the bunker, but on the feld. Taurus rips it, all you can eat, 36,000. Snap call from Nick, both players standing, and all of a sudden a $73,000 pot. Here we go, cards on their back, let's get naked. Let's run out the flop. My goodness gracious, big pot energy.
You could be on a free roll here if Nick holds. Because Nick was the person I chose.
I'm not worried about me. Right now, I am worried about Taurus. About to be on a one-way flight to Stackville. Dominated and crushed. Will he have a favorable flop? They're running it twice. Probably going to get scooped, I'd imagine. Not a good flop there for Taurus. Has some backdoor spades. Now that's dead. Ace and an ace only.
Set for Nick.
So Nick will be sitting down. Now can watch the second board sitting. Taurus, no ace on this flop, no spades. So an ace and an ace only. 3 outs once. And now he'll send 36,000 over across the table. Nick wins a big one there.
Someone in chat suggesting that Doug has to go back to the tank top to get his luck to turn around.
Might be true. Wonder what he packed in his duffel bag or what he has in his closet. Because we might need to see that tomorrow. Don't forget, chat, we're going to be back right here, same channel, same time for another 100-200 game mañana. So cancel your plans and plan on joining us right here at the Lodge Live.
4 ways to a flop. King 7-8, couple of spades. And Skull is going to go back to his tournament seat. Thanks for joining us, Skull. See you next break.
JD picks up the nut flush draw on the turn here.
Straight.
He's going to put in a bet
for Nick.
Indeed, he puts in that bet for 2,000 into a $4,000 pot. JD, of course, going to continue. It looks like he's going to do so for a raise.
5.5. Almost regardless. There's some amounts where it's just really fucking petty, but
Quick call from Nick. Let's take a river. Nick's got a lot to dodge. Needs to avoid a spade or a queen.
You know what? I'm not gonna pay you, Terrace. Deal with it.
That would have been a set
Yeah.
for someone in the hand. Lucky they're out of there.
Terrace, next time I need some money, I know where I'm going. No, I mean, like,
Now let's see what JD wants to do. Definitely has a good hand to bluff with. If I had to guess, I'm going to say he will bluff.
intent really matters.
The question is, what size? It would definitely make sense to bet very, very large here. More than the pot.
You intentionally scam someone for a small amount.
Why would you ever do that, though?
He's going to be representing a very narrow and strong range of hand.
25,000 from the aces.
And he does bet 25,000. That is an overbet. And that puts Nick in a pretty rough spot. He does not have a spade in his hand.
A lot of people, and you didn't scam anyone for millions of dollars. We just scammed somebody for $200 on purpose.
All right, chat. What do you think he's going to do? This is your opportunity.
I don't know.
One if he calls, two if he folds. It is a $25,000 bet. Let's listen in.
But it was $200.
I mean,
And
like,
you know,
how?
I mean, maybe this is like a weird scenario.
Well, the thing is, you know, it's one of those things where if you do it once for that amount, you're so much likely to do it again. How many people just scam one guy?
The only time I've ever been scammed was a guy. He got a bunch of people in Seattle, and then he got me and one or two friends in Vegas during the series, and then he skipped the country.
He makes the call.
Rarely one-time offenders.
No, well,
Terrible. It's like that might be the worst time I played in my entire life. But I played some I played some bad ones there. That's okay.
I'm saying he played the worst hand of his entire life today. I didn't catch which one he was talking about, but that's pretty funny.
Don't remember.
Viking quote. In live poker, you gotta make these folds. Sometimes you gotta make these folds.
Yep, lesson learned. Try to keep it square as possible.
Another way to get out of there.
Yeah. Thank God we get it. Thank God we did.
Nice little skillet there. 10,600 in there.
Small blind warrior.
449. Couple of clubs. Ben with the club draw. Quick call from Ginge. Queen of spades. Now a spade draw for Ginge.
Can you play this tournament? Can you play? Fire 10 bullets.
20.
I'm rooting for a brick river here to see how this plays out if neither player hits a flush. We are going to see a river, that's for sure, as Ben puts in a 9K bet. Ginge Poker with a quick call. I respect Ginge Poker's speed of play. He really does seem to like make quick calls in spots where there's not much to think about.
What's the top bounty?
King on the river, that's what I wanted. Total brick. Let's see if Ben wants to go for it. As I was talking about in that last hand, these are actually the kinds of hands you generally don't want to bluff when you have the missed flush draw, especially containing the ace. To make it a little bit more likely that Ginge Poker actually has a made hand himself, because he can't have a missed ace-high flush draw. But in this case, it's a little different with all these scare cards that have come out. His 10 does block Jack 10. His ace does block ace king, so Ginge Poker might 4-bet pre-flop with that.
There's no bounties in day 1. Day 1's no. On day 2, everybody gets a bounty chip like a normal bounty tournament. So when you bust somebody, you get a bounty. So you bust one person, you get 1. You bust 10 people, you get 10. And then they'll have like a raffle where you go and you like draw the envelope. And the envelope will be the amount, so you don't know. It'll be a minimum of like
Big bet.
1,000 or 2,000 or something. It'll be they'll be in different amounts, right?
18,000.
So basically, like, if you bust out and don't win the tournament, then you get to go like take your odds. So I think it's like 200. I don't know. We have to ask. It's at least 100. Yeah. So if you just pull the right envelope, you know. This kid I know from Dallas, he pulled one last week. They played a little smaller one. He pulled a 20K. I think that we fixed that week was like 50K.
Ginge Poker unlikely to be considering a call, though he does beat the missed flush draws. Doesn't really have that much to raise, because all-in would be just over a min-raise. He really seems to be thinking about it, though. Ginge Poker does not just tank for no reason, as we've seen throughout the night. So he likely is actually considering putting in some chips in one way or another here. Daniel Blaha says not a whole lot of misdraws that don't have a pair. That's true, but those misdraws that have a pair would not bluff. That's the key. If Ben had a hand like Queen 10 of clubs, he would not bet the river like this. He would just take his showdown value. But if he had a hand like 7-6 of clubs or 7-6 in spades, he would know that he'd have to bluff to win the pot.
We just watch. All we do is watch. Yeah. We were the last. In the stand-up game, we were the last four standing, and then every big pot step.
Pretty incredible that he's taking this time to think through this.
Stop. Why even get cards? Just watch. Front row seat. Courtside. Courtside.
Makes the call. Believe this is the last hand of the stream. $800 double straddle is on.
I don't think they do sleeper shadows.
No, we don't allow them. We don't sleeper show.
We know you.
You never know what's going to happen in Texas. You never know.
Did I catch that this is the last hand here?
Yes, this is the last hand of the stream.
All right, let's see.
It was
how
a
it
double
ends.
straddle.
Doug is going to book a big loss as he folds, and Ginge Poker picks up kings. Always nice to pick that up in the last hand.
Makes it 8,200 with a 3-bet with kings.
Terrace,
Reaching
tempted by the last hand.
So we're going
He's
to
gonna
go.
feel.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and guess, Rick, that Taurus does not make this pre-flop call if it's not the last hand of the night.
Yeah. Hits his ace.
He's going to be glad he did.
Yay.
Ginge does have the king of hearts after a flush draw.
5,500 is the bet.
Are you playing tomorrow as well?
If you look, the two kings that he needs have both been played. So he needs hearts.
I was gonna come down next week just to see like what was running.
Sure. I enjoyed it. I think their main event is like.
Yeah, I don't play tournaments. That's not
I play the main event. I like the one tournament.
Going to a turn here.
a big cash in next week. So I think that down.
So 9. That should slow things down a bit. Terrace can definitely have a hand that contains a 9. Hands like King 9 suited, Queen 9 suited, Jack 9 suited, etc.
Absolutely.
Unless you know a guy well.
Goes check, check. Here comes the river. Queen of clubs. Let's see what happens here.
It will be interesting to see if Terrace decides to go for some value here. He can definitely put his opponent on pretty much the exact type of hand he has. Oh, but it looks like Ginge Poker is going to go for a block bet of his own. 2,500, about a tenth of the pot.
25.
So now Terrace has to decide, do I want to just treat that small bet as a check and raise for value? Could he call with worse if I raise here? He is going to raise.
Big raise.
Should have done anything involved for you there.
30,000 is the bet.
I thought I heard all of this.
Okay, it is an all-in from Terrace. 36.2.
I feel like this might be a play from Terrace designed to get Ginge Poker to fold the chop. If Ginge Poker has a hand like Ace-Jack or Ace-10, and he played the hand this way, Terrace is now putting it all in, hoping to get
Makes
those
the call!
But Ginge is actually going to call with worse. That is an absolutely mind-blowing final hand.
Terrace with the snowman makes it yo.
They have like safety glass you can like make opaque or whatever.
I talked a little bit, yeah. We're talking about the other stuff too. That was the problem.
Mixon steps into Chatsville. Hello, Mixon. Big raise by JD. 4,500 now with his ladies.
4,500.
I love when he was like, the cycle was like, you're an hour early, and he's like,
Nobody running hotter than JD at the moment. Sandwich bet here, Rick, for
Yes.
if we see a flop.
You owe me one, so.
I'll take the queens.
All right, I'll be the eights.
oh, so many good moments in that.
Can I somehow get in there and have the 7-4? I don't know how we do it.
You sure?
You got to pick one of the.
What do I need?
You need to flop 2 pair.
How about it needs to be the 4 of spades or the 4 of diamonds.
All right.
Oh, okay.
In a way that like is.
How about we just keep them black? 4 spades, 4 clubs.
That's smart, Skull.
3 players.
Let's do that. I need a black 4.
Wow, 3-way sandwich
I
betting
need an 8.
first. Wow.
Oh, a black 4, Brady.
Wow. It's rigged. Rigged.
Trips now
I'm good
for
at this
Nick.
game, fellas. By the way, our sandwiches are very expensive here in San
That's what I was
Diego.
going to say. We're buying Austin
Yeah,
sandwiches.
you got to come here and collect in person. Otherwise, bet's void.
Congratulations, Iron Mike Brady.
Nick,
We got
that's
trips
my
for
first
Nick.
Yeah, and this is probably going to get expensive for JD, and I also kind of can't imagine Terrace not putting in at least a little bit of money here. Kind of depends on what happens right now. Or rather, just on Terrace first, so he's certainly going to put in some money.
JD bet 3.5, and action now back on Terrace, reaching for calling chips. Makes the call. Nick loving life here. Really the only one that has a 4 in his range here. Will he go for the check raise now into multiple opponents, multiple spades on board, and he's reaching for raising chips.
Yeah, I think with his stack size quite deep in general, I think you've got to kind of put in the raise here and just try to pump up this pot, maybe get the money in by the river. If you just call, you risk things like a spade coming on the turn or something like an ace that might scare a hand like pocket queen, so it makes sense to go ahead and just put in the raise right away. It's also kind of a small thing, but it's nice for him that he has 7-4. He doesn't have like another high card, so he doesn't block hands like pocket queens.
I would agree to all that, Mr. Brady. Let's see what JD does. Still has a player to act behind. Did see Nick try and bluff him about 10 minutes ago, and JD can't get away just yet. Makes the call, so we have a pot building. What will Terrace do now? Facing a raise and a call.
Are we going to be able to change that?
I think this would be a pretty trivial fold, but you never know when you're going to get sticky.
I know because I put a video on YouTube and there's a girl in the hand and I read the comments. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible every time.
There's a really good take by Mental Health, Matt. He said that the people with the lowest EQ.
Lexo joins the chat. What's up, Lex? Scotland in there, Timothy Murphy, Mixon, and we have a big pot, boys. You better cancel all your plans this afternoon, early evening. We have a good one from the lodge.
I thought your stance, Doug, on money, not being
Terrace looks to be in some distress here. Right here on the flop,
I know more about her situation.
$9,000 more to call.
He does have 3 to a straight flush. We haven't mentioned that, but he does get away from it.
Had the mental health checkup on her or whatever, where she was just like,
Queens in rough straight, drawing the 2 outs.
I'm not trying to pretend like
Vote now
we're the
for Nick.
I don't think Nick's going to be worried about that 5 at all.
thoroughly bet
He'll continue to fire, I imagine.
Right? Like if someone's a violent criminal,
Huge bet.
if someone has like
15,000.
yeah, no scammer, knock him on the stream. Although we've had Tom on, he wants that to come out.
Jungle just tweeted whatever.
Make it excited.
Updates for that.
Hey, what?
But Jungle said something about
Beautiful camera work from Maestro Matt Sweeney.
Will that 5 perhaps give an exit to JD? Maybe he was thinking that Nick was raising with an ace-5 potentially on the flop or something like that. Now losing to any 5 or 4.
Always great with the line, you know? Always great. Never
Will
ending.
JD give him credit for a 4 or a 5? He seems to be smirking a little bit. I think he's going to find the fold here.
Careful what you wish for.
All in.
Jesus.
So no fold and a snap call from Nick. So just as we were singing JD's praises, up 45,000, we have it a $150,000 pot, perhaps our largest
The
ever
largest ever at the
on
lodge.
the Lodge Live.
Largest ever pot.
Super sick. I can only speculate at what JD was thinking there, but I suppose he's, you know, thinking, I think my opponent has a combo draw a decent amount of time, and I just want to put him all in, make him fold it, take
Running
the pot here.
twice. That one doesn't do it.
That's a boat for Nick, doesn't even need it. And that's a scoop for Nick, $150,000 pot. He had JD covered, so all of those winnings, poof, thin air dust, ship him over to Nick.